Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. This is Ephraim Mordechai Lewis from Mali Ephraim in the Jordan Valley. I want to share a teaching today from the Kedushas Levi on this week's parsha, chukas. In this week's parsha, a very important episode occurs in which the Israelites complained to Moses that after Miriam passed away, and they had no water, because in Miriam's merit, the Israelites were able to have water every day from the well that she carried, basically. But when she passed away, the well no longer worked. So the Israelites became very upset because they had no water to drink, and they complained bitterly to Moses. Moses went to Hashem, and Hashem said, "Speak to the rock in their presence, and by doing that, you'll sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel." So Moses went to the people, and they were complaining so bitterly that Moses became very angry with the people. And Moses said to the people, "Listen now, you rebels, you obstinate people." And he yelled at them. And according to the Midrash, when Moses spoke to a rock, no water came out. And he ended up hitting the rock, and water did come out from that. But after he did that, Hashem said to Moses that he sinned when he hit the rock, because he didn't sanctify, because you did not have faith in me to sanctify me in the eyes of children of Israel. And due to this incident, it said in the Torah that Moses was not allowed to enter into the land of Israel. So the question is, what exactly did Moses do wrong? And Rashi and the Ramban argue over Moses' sin. The Ramban explains that Moses sinned when he told the Jewish people, "Listen now, you rebels," when he became mad with the people and yelled at them. Rashi, on the other hand, explains that Moses sinned when he hit the rock. Kedushas Levi has a brilliant Kedush on this, and he says, in essence, the two reasons are one and the same, since the yelling at the Israelites, calling them rebels, created the situation where Moses had to hit the rock to get the water. And the Kedushas Levi explains that there are two ways of admonishing the Jewish people to perform the will of God. One way is by speaking positively, telling every Jew about his great virtue and from where his soul originally came from. And the other way of admonishing the people is through reproof, more a Musar-like approach where you're criticizing the people, which is what Moses did. And the issue is, what are the consequences of two different ways of rebuking the people? And the difference between these two approaches, the Kedushas Levi says, is that when a person admonishes in a positive way, the soul of the Jewish person is uplifted higher and higher. The rebuker recounts constantly the uprightness and the greatness of the Jewish people and their tremendous influence above. A person who admonishes in this way is worthy to be a Jewish leader. By contrast, the one who reprimands the Jewish people with harsh words is not of the same caliber. When one motivates the Jewish people in a positive way, always praising their greatness and righteousness, all creation will want on their own to cater to the Jewish people. This is a really important teaching, that when the Jewish people are praised, then creation, including nature, wants to carry out the purpose which they created, which was for the sake of Israel. However, when one does not recount and promote the righteousness of the Jewish people, and he criticizes the Jewish people, then creation is not inclined to do what's best for the Jewish people. It does not bend to the will of the Jewish people. So when Moses said, "Listen now, you rebels," he scolded the Jewish people with harsh words. Therefore, to make the rock do what it was created for, he was compelled to hit it. However, had Moses uplifted the stature of the Jewish people with his words as described above, was God's intention when he said, "You shall speak to the rock," Moses would have spoken to the rock, telling it, "You were created for the sake of the Jewish people who are very exalted. Therefore, you must carry out the reason for which you were created, to produce water for the Jewish people," and the rock would have complied. However, since Moses reprimanded the Jewish people, speaking harshly to them, Moses was forced to hit the rock in order to compel it to serve the Jewish people. Thus, one mistake led to the other, and both opinions of the Ramban and Rashi are the same. This is alluded to in the verse, since you did not have enough faith in me to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. When someone inspires the Jewish people to improve by pointing out their goodness and potential as described above, they will more readily absorb and internalize this message. This is alluded to in the phrase, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. And as our sages says, Kedushas says, the eyes of the congregation refers to the wise men of the congregation, indicating the congregation will fully absorb the wisdom of the admonisher when he sanctifies me and inspires the people positively. So this is a very important teaching for us. And this is something that's going on now. When the Jewish people criticize each other, as is happening now, when the left and the right criticize each other, and Netanyahu is criticized, and the leaders are criticized, then in the image of the rest of the world, the Jewish people are not being holy and are not being together. And what this Torah is teaching us is that in order for for nature and creation to support the Jewish people in our attempt to be holy, we have to be positive when we speak to each other. So this is a critical point, that lashon hara, evil talk, and creates a situation where good things don't happen to the Jewish people. So may we be blessed to learn from this lesson and be careful of what we speak when we talk about each other, the Jewish people, and only say positive things. And when we say positive things, then creation will bend to our will and do what is necessary for the Jewish people. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos.